Milton, and welcome back to Gainz O'Clock. This is the Q&A series that I'm running for you every single Friday. I get on here and I answer your actual questions, as well as some of the stuff that I get, routinely that I think would be beneficial. The goal of this show is always to kind of define for you, hey, you know what? You might have a question that could benefit other people and vice versa. So thank you for sending me your questions. We're going to drop this thing live here in just a second. Please do me a favor though. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, give me a thumbs up and a comment. Let me know what you think of this stuff. It's just one of the 5 awesome shows I'm running all week. It's going to help you get better, get further, get where you want to be with your results faster. That's what we do on the TeamFFLEX video series. Thank you for watching. Alright, so we're going to dive right in today. I got 10 questions, all regarding contest prep. Alright, so I didn't actually take any user questions this week. We will save those up for next week. Thank you for those of you that have submitted throughout the week and the time, and we'll get them in next week for sure. I took basically the most common questions I could think about regarding contest prep, competing, basically, different stuff about diets and all that. I'm basically covering a lot of it. We got 10 questions I'm going to dive into that are some of the most common ones I get that hopefully will be beneficial to you. I also try to make sure they're not like the general norm type questions that you could literally go to NPC News Online and see the answer to straight up. You could Google it, it would pop up. So hopefully this would be beneficial to you. Please make sure you subscribe and share. Alright, let's dive in, fam. Question number 1, quick competition question, Gainz O'Clock. What is the best way to diet down? Macros or strict meals? That's actually a question I get all the time. For years I got this question, right? Everybody assumes that when you go on a contest prep, no matter what division, you got to get really, really strict with your nutrition, meaning like you got to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice 6 times a day to get yourself stage ready. The truth is, you can do any variation of meals or macros or both, or one or the other. You can mix them all up as long as you are getting the right calories, the right macronutrients, the right proteins, carbs, fats, fibers. If you get all that right, you're hitting that consistently, that's where you actually have to be strict, okay? You have to be strict in hitting the numbers, hitting the right calories, and of course you want to have the right plan. You want to make sure you got a coach that's going to get you the right nutrition plan. Don't try to wing this stuff, and don't do one of the generic meal plans. I'm going to say stray away from the generic meal plans. I know there's so many of them out there. I know a lot of coaches even give every, bikini competitor the same meal plan. Don't be doing the generic plans. They don't work. Your body's different. You got to have the customized nutrition, and that's going to be the customized number of macros in regards to proteins, carbs, fats, fibers, calories overall. You got to have that all right. But as far as what you need to do, what's the best way to diet down, it's pretty variable. You can do this in any way you want as long as you're hitting those goals. You can have, totally flexible dieting preps, okay? I have competitors that have done flexible dieting only. They've never followed a strict meal plan. They've never done any of that stuff. They're eating different stuff all day, every day. Having some of their favorite foods, their treats, whatever. It's all coming down to the fact that they hit their macro totals though, okay? You can't be going and eating a whole pizza on prep because it won't fit your macro goals, but can you have a slice? Yeah, you can. You absolutely can. And so with that, contest prep can be more simple than you think, honestly, when it comes to nutrition. If you understand the principles of flexible dieting and you got a coach that can set you up and diet you in the right way, make sure you're eating enough, make sure you're not crash dieting yourself. Those are all super important things. I think that's actually one of the other questions we have later, so I'm not going to dive too far there. Question number 2, do you have to take drugs and supplements to compete? So when it's talking about drugs, we're talking about steroids. We're talking about all different forms. I know that competitors though, and even coaches, you trick yourselves into what a steroid is, okay? So anything that is an assisting compound, even if it's a cutting agent, it's a performance enhancing drug, it's a SARM, it's any of this shit. I know that companies market that they're not steroids. I know that even coaches tell you they're supplements. I know that a lot of competitors will deny the fact they're taking steroids because they're taking a SARM. Well, guess what? All these things are androgenic. All these things are anabolic compounds, whether they're cutting, whether they're not. You're taking a drug to go ahead and try to attain a physique. And to me, that's a performance enhancing drug that is, by all classifications, some type of a steroid, okay? And so that all counts. Do you have to take steroids to compete? Absolutely do not need to take steroids to compete. As I've always said, TeamFFLEX competitors to this day have never done this, right? I know a lot of coaches say, hey, oh, you started my plan, take this, take this, take this. They give you all these different bottles of pills and whatever to buy and, to take during your program. And yeah, they use it as a crutch for the fact that they don't program you good. They give you the generic meal plan, they give you the generic training program, and they load you with drugs and expect a better result. And in reality, it's only going to damage you. It's only going to hurt you. I have never coached anybody that needs to do this stuff. You don't need to do this stuff to compete. I've coached, beginners, advanced, pros, all across the board, many divisions, all divisions, and never had to have people do this stuff. So what you got to understand with that is you don't have to do any of this. You don't have to take the supplements. You don't have to take the steroids. You don't have to, and I definitely don't encourage it. As far as supplements go, protein powder, pre-workout, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to throw your money on, great, whatever. You don't have to do it though. I have plenty of competitors that don't even take a damn protein powder or a multivitamin or anything else. They're not drinking a pre-workout. They're just going to the gym and following the training program, and they get great results. And so that can be you too. That stuff is add-on stuff. I suggest strongly you stay away at all times from the steroids, from these compounds, these cutting agents, any of this kind of stuff, the SARMs. Stay away from all that. Don't go near it. It's going to damage your hormones. It's going to mess your metabolism up. Yeah, it might help you cheat your way into a 12-week prep, and after that, you're going to deal with the effects of it for the rest of your life from the hormone damage you have caused. And the amount of people that I've told this to that I don't coach, and they neglect to hear what I say, and they go do it anyway, and anytime I talk to them after, talk to them a year down the road, they're like, fuck, dude, I really should have listened to you. Oh, man, I landed in the hospital. Oh, no, now I have, my testosterone doesn't work anymore. I can't even, I have to go on TRT for the rest of my life. I hear this stuff all the time, and that's because it does do this. It's well documented. If you do any of these anabolic drugs whatsoever, it's going to change your composition in your body for a very long time, potentially forever, and give you any other myriad of health issues, so avoid it. Supplement-wise, I say it's oftentimes the last little percent you need to worry about regarding anything. The last very little percent of anything you would need. My analogy is actually the cupcake. I have an infographic on my Instagram at TeamFFLEX. Make sure you follow me, where it says basically, hey, this is the cupcake. Your training is the kind of cake of the cupcake. The frosting's your nutrition, and then you get the little bitty sprinkles on top of the cupcake that could be your supplements. And guess what? To make a good cupcake, you don't actually need the fucking sprinkles. And the same goes for your results. Same goes for what you're trying to do. If you want them, great, throw it in there. Get yourself a protein powder. Get yourself a pre-workout. Maybe you like the way it tastes, but you don't absolutely need it, okay? Question number 3, do you have to starve yourself to get competition ready? This is a great question that comes up all the time. Competitors, especially female competitors, get concerned about this because a lot of the women's divisions, a lot of women, for some reason, do come in looking really like they are emaciated, like they have not eaten, they have not been doing enough, they're trying to get so lean that it looks not good for them, honestly. It's very unnatural. It almost looks like they're sick in a lot of ways, and that happens due to a lot of reasons, but a lot of times it's bad coaching. It's too hard of dieting, too much cardio, and guess what? These divisions don't even want to see that. If you bring that to the NPC bikini division, you're probably not going to score well if you're too lean, because you can't be too lean and do well in these divisions. So, that comes up because girls see these pictures online, they see all this different stuff, and they get worried about it. They wonder about it. Do I literally have to starve myself? Do I have to look like, I've starved myself to compete and do well in this sport? And the answer is absolutely not. You should not do it. I will tell you, a lot of people do it, unfortunately, due to bad coaching or due to other problems. It's not uncommon that some competitors have had eating disorders before they competed, and they come into the sport and it carries with them, so on and so forth. But the point is, the sport can also be a great way to deal with eating disorders and things like that. I know a lot of people that had them before and they became a bodybuilder, bikini competitor, and it changed their life and they feel better now. So it's not to say that you absolutely have to do that at all. You don't have to starve yourself. You should not. What I always say is that you should eat as much as you possibly can while still getting results. A lot of coaches coaches, unfortunately, you'll start a program with them, you could be eating 2,000 calories a day, they say, oh, you want to compete 12 weeks, now you're on 800. And that should always be a huge red flag to you. You should instantly turn away from that, get your money back, and go get a different coach. What I do when I coach is I say, okay, you want to compete? Great, here's where we're at. I'm looking at your physique, I see where your body is, I see where we need to be, I know what needs to be on stage. So how do we get from A to Z? We're going to go like this. We're going to go here, I'm going to drop the calories just a little bit, we're going to start a little bit of training, some cardio maybe, and boom, we're going to get here. But the goal is always for me as a coach to make sure my competitors are eating as much as they possibly can and get results. Because I know that when you diet down too hard, when you crash diet someone, or if you cut someone to 800 calories, which I've never had to do in my life, I've never put a competitor on those other calories ever. If you do that though, guess what you do? You crash your metabolism, you crash your hormones, and then you deal with the negative effects of these things for months and weeks and potentially years after the competition. We already talked about how the hormones can get damaged from doing steroids and other things. They can also get damaged from dieting the wrong way. And so with that, you got to understand that you got to do the things that are going to work longevity-wise, that are going to work the most for you. And guess what? Eating the most while getting the results still is going to be the best option for you. You should go into shows eating well, feeling well-fed. You're going to perform better. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better. You're going to be able to do more shows, continue on your journey, and avoid a multitude of health issues that can come up from crash dieting yourself and doing prolonged periods of contest prep, which happens to so many people. I know you've seen the horror stories. I know you know the women that have been through this, where they gain 30, 40 pounds back after the show. They can't lose it. Their hormones are whack. They have, metabolic problems and all sorts of other things. Contest prep can be very bad for you if done incorrectly. So you got to make sure you get a qualified coach. You got to make sure you know who is going to be able to help you and get you on the right path. You got to have someone that's going to pay attention, okay? I'm not saying it should only be me or any of my TeamFFLEX coaches. We do a great job, absolutely. But you have to make sure that whoever you decide to go with, they're going to give you full attention. They're going to pay attention to you. They're going to invest in you. They're going to, put their energy and effort into it, not give you generic plans, not pass things out, not blow you off when you need things. Take care of you, because this can be a make or break for you when it comes to competing, okay? And also, honestly, outside of competing, your life in general. If you do a prep wrong, it can affect your life for the rest of your life. Please don't do a prep wrong. Please make sure you do your research, invest time, interview your coaches, figure out where you want to go, understand the approaches, talk to their clients, know how things are going to work for you in advance, and at any sign of red flags, reconsider your option. If you go to get a coach and you think they're going to be the best, and you buy a program and they cut you to 800 calories and they're like, hey, have fun, get a refund, move on, get something different, because the damage, even if you lose your money, even if you can't get your money back, it's far, far better to lose your money and keep your health than it is to lose your health and keep your money, okay? Question number 4, where do you get competition suits? This comes up all the time, again, from the ladies, but also from the guys, because, you got to get your trunks or whatever for bodybuilding, classic physique, so on and so forth, men's physique. The men's divisions, I'll say straight up, are a lot easier, okay? There's not a lot of options. Board shorts, I've seen guys go to Target and buy those for the men's physique division. They go to Target, they buy the board shorts, they're good to go. You can go on stage with it. For classic physique, bodybuilding, things like that, you can get them made a lot of times at suit designers, but most of the time you just buy it online, at a generic place. You can get them on NPC News Online, for example. They have them there. They're NPC branded, all that, so on and so forth. There's ways to get all these things made, but ordered. You can also just Amazon it, probably straight up, and get a decent option, because there's not that many things for men. For the women, it's a little bit different. They just want to go into more stuff in general, right? They want to, pick the different crystal amounts. They want to pick the colors, the shapes, the connectors, all that. And so generally you want to go with a suit designer in this, okay? I'm going to recommend Amanda Louise at Amanda Louise Swimwear. You can check out her Instagram, her website. She is the best in the game, and that's why I'm recommending her. I don't get an affiliate code. I'm not making money off anything. If you go get her stuff, it's good for you. It's not going to do anything for me. At the end of the day, she does the best stuff. She does a consult where she guides you. She takes you through everything. They're going to pick it out, get you sized, get you ready, great. She even has an awesome rental program where basically, you know, you can rent these things for cheaper if you can't afford it, because the women's suits do get more pricey, but it is worth it to get it done. A lot of, I know competitors went and go and they buy, you know, their friend's suit, they buy some used stuff off of Etsy and things. It's just not the best way to go, because if it's not a rental that can actually be sized for you, or it's not actually made for you, like you bought an own custom suit, you're basically buying some other competitor's suit, and it's not going to be fitting your physique right, it's not going to do right, and you're probably going to have some problems come competition day with fitting and things like that, because your physique will change a lot, ladies. Your physique changes a lot as you go through the prep. You know, you can measure your stuff a month out, and then, you know, 2 weeks out from your competition, it's a whole different measurements you need by this point. So I strongly suggest you go check out Amanda Louise. She has a free consult you can do, a free, you know, basically you just get in and talk with her. Even if you already go to a different suit designer or whatever, it's great to get expertise from people that can offer it. Question number 5, all competition related. This is Gainz Clock. I'm Ryan Milton. Thank you for watching. All right. What is the difference between pre-judge and finals? I'm going to try to keep my answers shorter because I'm rambling a lot today. I'm talking a lot, but you guys, it's good for you, so I hope you're getting something out of it. What's the difference between pre-judge and finals? It's basically this. Pre-judging is where the most of the judging is done, okay? NPC, IFBB, this is where a lot of the judging gets done right here in this pre-judging section. Now, generally, this is done in the morning. Friends and family can come out. They do come out. Anybody can go to these, but most of the time the crowd is not like the finals crowd, okay? We'll talk about that in a second. But basically, friends and family come out. This is where you get a majority of your judging done, okay? You're doing the same type of stuff in regards to what you're always doing. You're coming out, doing your routine, you're going off, you're getting in call-outs, and so on and so forth. Judges are comparing you, scoring you, and they are making most of their decisions here at the pre-judge, meaning they are calling out their first call-outs. They're going to see who they want to win. They're going to see who they believe is the best. They're scoring. They compare their notes after to see if they want to make any changes, and at finals, they do it again. Sometimes at finals, they will rejudge, and that's basically what finals is. Finals is the night show. It's the presentation show. It's the, you know, the show for everybody else in the sport. Your friends and family that didn't make it to the morning show come out, and, you know, ticket sales. Everybody who's into the sport of bodybuilding would be there. You'll have an actual MC on the mic guiding the show. You'll have more presentation type stuff, and, you know, this is where the awards are given. So you get your awards there. So in a general sense, what's happening at pre-judging is the judging is getting done for the most part at night. You can be judged more. Oftentimes it's not going to be a ton of changes going on because I already did the judging in the morning. The night show is the presentation rounds, and you're basically going to go out, get your awards, and, you know, move on with that, and so on and so forth. And after pre-judging, obviously, after finals obviously show's over, you can get feedback from the judges, so on and so forth. But basically that's what makes them different. That's what separates it. These do sometimes happen on different days. These do sometimes happen, you know, within a few hours of each other. It just depends on the show and what you're doing. But yeah, there's going to be a pre-judge and a final section of every competition that you do. Alright, how do you qualify for nationals? Pretty easy here. NPC Nationals, how do you qualify for that? You do an NPC National Qualifier. Most competitions these days are NPC National Qualifiers. They'll say it right on the flyer. You can also go to their website. You can do whatever. If you want an example of this, go to TeamFFLEX.com/2020comps. And you will see a bunch of national qualifiers that I'm a sponsor on. And basically how it works is you'll see that it says, okay, this show happening this date, it's national qualifier. What you need to do to qualify for nationals is place top 2 in an open class, okay? An open class. Note what I said. So if you're a bikini competitor and you do open, you have to place top 2 in there to qualify to go to nationals. And if you do that, you can go to nationals, okay? If you don't do that, if you're 3rd, 4th, 5th, you can't go to nationals. And if you try to win, you might win your novice class, you might win your true novice class, you might win one of those. If it's not an open class, it doesn't qualify you for nationals. So basically you got to do a national qualifier show and place top 2 in your open class. And if you do that, now you're qualified for nationals, okay? So pretty much when you go to nationals, you're going to see a myriad of competitors that are either second place winners, first place winners, or overalls. Oftentimes, can't talk today, mainly the first and the overall winners over there at nationals. But that will be what qualifies you. Then you'll be qualified for a year from that show to do the national show you want to do. And they have that schedule on NPC News Online as well. All right, how do you become an Ibd Pro? This kind of piggybacks on that last question in a way. So basically, from the very start, NPC is the amateur organization. Ibd Pro is the pro leagues of the NPC, Ibd, all that, right? So basically, it's the amateurs versus the pro. If you want to become a pro, here's how you do it. You got to qualify for nationals first. I just told you how to do that. You got to go to nationals, and then depending on the nationals you do, every nationals is different. Either it's going to be the first place winner in that class at nationals, or the second place winner. First and second can win too. And you'll get a pro card depending on which one you do. If you are in the top two, basically is how it works, or the top one if it's a show where it's only one that's going to win the pro card. And after you've won the pro card, that's the game. That's where you've done it. You did it. Now you're in the pro leagues. So basically your road to the pro leagues is to do a national qualifier first, place top two, and then go to nationals and either win or get second depending on the competition, and you will become an Ibd Pro. All right. How long do you need to prep for a competition? This is question number 8. We got a few more just after this, fam. You prep for competition in a general sense. I've done a lot of posts on this at TeamFFLEX at TeamFFLEX on Instagram. Check that out if you need help. But basically, it depends on the level of show you're doing. What I say for the most part, okay, if it's like your first show, do a 16-week prep. If you've never done a show, do a 16-week prep. And the reason I say this is you got a lot of time for your body to see how it's going to respond, okay? You got to be able to have some variability, and if things are going great, awesome, you'll be ready early and you'll feel good. Otherwise, if stuff comes up and maybe your body's not responding, maybe you have some events in your life that change your response to your training, well, now you got time to make up for it. You can still come to your show and do good and feel good about what you brought. Your first show is very important to a lot of people because it's the most mental one you'll do, whereas, as you're getting started, you're going to go through all this different stuff. It's a new experience. It's very stressful. So 16 weeks allows you to have some variability in that. It makes it easier overall, less stressful for new competitors, what I find, okay? For a local, regional type show, so we're talking about a national qualifier or something like that, it's just your local everyday show. It's happening around you somewhere, whatever. I say 12 to 16 weeks, depending on who you are, where you're at, right? If you've already done some shows before and you're in a relatively good off-season improvement season, what I call physique, you're in a good spot, you have a lot of stuff, maybe you can get away with a 12-week prep. But some people might do 16, depending on where you were at in your improvement season, so on and so forth, or your experience doing competitions overall. So 12 to 16 weeks for that. And then for nationals, I say 16 weeks or more probably, depending on how hard you are trying to go get that pro card. If you really, really want to do well, it's probably going to be a minimum of 16 weeks where you're going to really focus on that more for most people, honestly, because there's all different variances of this. You're going to have to bring the right level of conditioning, the right level of muscularity, and again, like I said, everybody that you're competing against is usually the first place winner or an overall, so that it's very, very competitive compared to your regional shows and so on like that. And then if you're in the pro leagues, you're basically never stopping, let's be honest, right? You're pretty much always in gear as far as what you're doing, you're training, you're always in an improvement phase, you're improving to return to the stage to prep again. So, 6, if you want a generic kind of response for that, you're not really ever stopping, but a prep part might be 16, maybe more weeks out from your show. Again, all this is relative. This is just a basis of, kind of giving you an answer, but everybody's different, every physique's different, every athlete can do different things. There'll be some competitors, I guarantee you, that can do preps in 8 weeks and rock it, and there'll be some that take 20 or more, and that's just what happens. So you got to know what's custom for you, what's going to work best for you. This is where a coach can come into play a lot. If you need help with your coaching, go to TeamFFLEX.com right now, subscribe to our trial, and we can help you get contest ready, and that's a free trial where you can check that out, no obligation whatsoever. Number 9, is the tan required to compete? Short answer, yes, absolutely. I've seen shows where competitors try to get on stage without a tan. It's ridiculous. You're going to get pulled off stage. They're not going to let you compete. You have to tan yourself, and you oftentimes will want to go with the vendor tanner, okay? Every show that you're going to do in the NPC is going to have a vendor tanner, somebody that's going to be there doing the tans. I know that there's a lot of self-tanners and things like that, and a lot of people want to cut corners. It is very difficult to do a self-tanner and match the tan that's going to be on stage, and it can hurt you more than it will help you if that's what happens, right? You can't go on stage with bad tan and expect a good result, because if everybody else has sprayed one shade and you come out a different one, it's going to affect you negatively, not positively. It's not going to help you stand out in a good way, in other words. So I strongly suggest the vendor tanners always at the events, and this also allows for anything if you spill something on you or you need a touch up. Very easy to go walk over there and have them do it, as opposed to you scrambling trying to find your little kit. I'm not a huge fan of self tanners. I tell all my athletes at all costs, please do not try to do that. If you're trying to cut $70 off, I'd rather give you $70 and have you do the damn show tan over trying to do it yourself, because in reality, it's dumb to cut corners. It's not a good idea to prep for so long, try to spend all this time, all this money, honestly, getting ready for these shows, and then cut corners on the tan and have it affect you and not, get you the placing you deserve. So, yeah, tan is required, and I suggest you do the vendor tans. Last question, fam. Gainz Clock, thank you for watching. I appreciate you all so much. Should you have a coach to compete? This comes up all the time. I know a lot of people want to self-coach. There's a lot of people that have been competitive before. Maybe they competed before 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, and now they want to come back and they did it before themselves, and now they think they can do it now. I will tell you this straight up. In my professional opinion, I am a coach, obviously. This is not biased, though, because I am a coach. Every competitor should have a coach. This is what I believe. This is literally what I think. Everybody should have a coach. And the reason is for a few different things. Right now, the sport is most competitive it's ever been, especially on the amateur level, okay? I know there's a lot of people that talk about how, bodybuilding's not the same as it was. It used to be more competitive and stuff. Whatever. At the amateur level, we have more amateur people in the NPC competing right now than ever before, and people are better and better and better every single time. I constantly hear from Sandy Williamson how hard it becomes to judge these shows at the amateur and the pro level because of how good everybody is. There used to be a time where you showed up and a class would come out and be like, oh, that's definitely not a winner, that's definitely not a winner, that's definitely not a winner, and there'd be a few people that might be in the top contender for a winner. Now, it's very rare to see people that are not a contender for a winner, okay? So, with that, you gotta understand, it's very competitive. It's hard to do this. If you competed a few years ago and you self-coached yourself, great. You might not be able to do that now because of the quality of physiques, okay? And then what I'll say is, competitors all the time, if you are self-coaching, it is hard, it is difficult, it is mentally very exhausting, and it takes away from your ability to be in the gym training really hard, and your ability to prep your meals to your max, and you're setting yourself up for a lot more back and forth in your mind. Am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing this? Should I do that? Should I change this? Should I change that? You're setting yourself up for that, and in reality, you're going to always do better to have someone in your corner that's guiding you, that can keep you a clear mind and let you go to work. And so that's what I suggest. I suggest strongly that everybody has a coach. Whether it's your first show or your 25th pro show, you should have a coach, because it's only going to help you get better. And, every great athlete ever in any sport still has a coach. Even, people that are not competing in bodybuilding, they still have coaches, and that's the reason for it, is because basically you can think of it this way. If Miss Olympia and Mr. Olympia have a coach, maybe you should have a coach. If Michael Jordan had a coach, and if Mike Tyson, all these famous people had coaches, well, guess what? You should probably have a coach. And that's what I say all the time. If you're trying to again cut corners on the sport, you're cutting yourself out of the sport, because you're not going to do as well as you could have if you don't have these things in place. So I strongly suggest you get a coach. And again, if you want help with coaching, we do a free trial at my website, TeamFFLEX.com. There's a pop-up. Just subscribe to it. It'll let you into our app. Me or one of my coaches will literally guide you through a customized trial experience. It's a free trial of our coaching. It's world-class coaching. If you are serious about competing and you don't do this, I don't think you're serious at all, because it's totally free and you get some of the world-class coaches to help guide you absolutely free. So please check that out. It's only going to help you. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. You don't have to put a card in or anything like that. It's literally free. No obligation whatsoever. So if you're serious about competing, you want to do your best, you're going to go get these free resources we got at TeamFFLEX.com and check out the free trial and work with me or one of my coaches free for 7 days where we can help you become your best and give you some insight into some stuff that may be clogging your mind up or whatever, alright? So, thank you for watching Gainz O'Clock. I appreciate you being here. This is just one of the 5 awesome shows I run all week, so please make sure you subscribe to the channel, you share the video, give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment. Thank you for watching. Coach Rye is out.